I never expected my life to fall apart before it even began. I was young, newly married, building a future I thought would be simple. But sometimes life doesn't break loudly. Sometimes it breaks quietly, and you don't notice until everything has already changed. We had just moved into our tiny city apartment. The furniture was mismatched. The walls were thin yet to us. It felt like the beginning of something beautiful. We spent our first night in that tiny apartment, still surrounded by unpacked boxes. I wanted everything to feel perfect, like a new beginning. But under the warm kitchen light, my hands kept shaking. My skin flared again, and I tried to hide it. I didn't want him to worry. Not again. By the second week, I could barely keep food down. I told myself it was just stress, a new home, a new life. But my body felt heavier each day. He watched me quietly, trying not to show his fear. I kept telling him I was fine. When we found out I was pregnant, he cried first. I laughed through tears, holding on to that tiny spark of hope. Even with my health slipping, I thought, maybe this was the miracle that would change everything. My strength faded faster than I expected. Some nights I couldn't stand without help. He learned how to support me, how to dress the irritated skin on my arms, how to whisper, "We'll get through this." I wanted to believe him. The night my water broke, I wasn't ready. Nothing was ready. The hospital lights felt too bright, my thoughts too loud. And then, he was here, our tiny son, so small I was afraid to breathe. His cry barely a whisper. I couldn't hold him for long. My arms trembled. Every smell, every sound overwhelmed me. I kept whispering, "I'm sorry, I'm so sorry." My husband stayed beside us, trying to carry everything I no longer could. The doctor's words crushed the air around us. Chronic kidney failure. I couldn't understand how my life had shifted so fast. My husband held my shoulders while I stared at the floor, unable to feel anything at all. The days blurred together. Treatments, exhaustion, fear. My husband rushed between the hospital and our baby, never really sleeping. I kept telling him to rest, but he only said, "Not until you're safe." One morning, as the snow melted outside my window, I made a promise to myself. I would not stay broken. I would fight. For him, for our child, for the life I still wanted to live. When I finally returned home, every step felt unfamiliar. My legs trembled. My breath was short. But I took those steps anyway. My husband stayed beside me, never rushing, never complaining. Little by little, my body remembered how to move again. And with each day, hope returned in small, quiet ways. While I was in the hospital, our baby stayed with my husband's family. Hearing his tiny cry through the phone broke something inside me. When I finally held him again, he slept quietly against my chest. This time my arms didn't tremble. I knew I had to stay strong for him. 3 days a week, I went back to the hospital for treatment. At first, I dreaded those long hours. But they slowly became part of my life. I started noticing the other patients, their tired eyes, their quiet pain, and I found myself smiling at them, offering the warmth I wished for too. On my walk home from the bus stop, I began to sing softly, not because everything was fine, but because singing made the world feel lighter. At home, my husband cooked while I prepared fruit. We laughed as our baby mumbled his first words. A small life, but a beautiful one. I stopped caring about the whispers and the judgment. Pain had softened me, but it had also made me braver. One bright morning, sunlight poured across my face. I whispered to myself, "I survived, and my heart is stronger than ever." This is a true story. When I was young, I lived with psoriasis. When I grew older and became a mother, I faced kidney failure, and I couldn't even hold my child the way I wished. But I am still here, still walking, still choosing hope. Default text: if you have your health today, please cherish it deeply. And if you are struggling, remember this: no storm lasts forever. Keep walking toward the light, even one small step at a time. I'm wishing you strength and the gentlest peace.